Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. Once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
Well, feeling all right. You know, it's a nice winter day out there. The sun is out, though. You get the nice fresh air. I don't know how you feel about it. You looked a little chilly, honestly, walking in here. But, you know, it's all right. You know, a little bit of a disappointing night in the world of sports, I would say. But that's what we're here for, huh, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely. Weather's a little tough. Got the Jamaica trip around the corner, though, so we could tough it out, you know?
Oh, my gosh.
And we do have a comment from Michael.
Oh, Michael says, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is the best sports show, and Luka is the GOAT of this generation, dude. Wow.
2 for 2. I have to say
2.
that is impressive stuff out of Michael. So we love hearing from him, of course.
If he knows what you had to do right before we got on air, dude. Oh, man.
No, but I mean, did you think no way I was going to make it?
I was a little doubtful, dude. I was thinking like 70-30 in the favor of no.
Yeah. So I was even impressed with myself. You know, that doesn't happen too often, but when it does, you know, you have to acknowledge it, Tony, right?
Yeah, of course, dude. Props to you.
But there is so much we need to discuss. And whoa.
You want okay. Barnes knows I've been saying that forever.
No, and you know what it is? Michael doesn't even need to say it because me and him just think alike. And one thing with Luka that I know that he recognized right away, because we talk about the laziness of the athlete today, and it's just the work ethic has been there from a young age.
Oh, yeah.
He was playing professionally. I mean, I want to say like when he was like 14 or something. So he's just had so much experience, and you could tell he wants it. He's going for it. And you can't say that about a lot of, you know, basketball players today. Right. So that's why, you know, Luka is a Hall of Famer. And I would have a hard time believing that he's not going to win at least one championship, if not several.
Career Maverick.
Cubes will keep him in line.
Wow.
Shark Tank guy?
To see that, dude. Oh, huge Shark Tank guy. Love Shark Tank.
I haven't watched it in a while, though, I have to say.
Honestly, do they even they still have new ones, right?
Yeah, they do have new ones.
I think I maybe catch a rerun of like a new one every so often. Dude, it's honestly like great idea for a show, incredibly entertaining. They got like a great crew over there too. I love like all the investor people they bring on too.
And do you think potentially that Mr. Wonderful's in trouble? You know, FTX, you know, Black Mark.
I don't know. I really don't think. I mean, obviously, a lot of people I think were kind of blindsided by that. I don't think Mr. Wonderful is that type of person where he would kind of, I guess, intentionally do that. I mean, the man was paid to promote FTX. Probably thought it was a good idea. I'm sure he was getting fed a lot of, you know, like, oh, this sounds great. Yeah, sure. I'll promote this. Want to give me money? Yeah, I'll do that. So I don't know. He doesn't seem like the guy who would intentionally do that. You know, I think it was just a mistake.
I swear to God, though, I think because, you know, he has this. Listen, I'm not saying that he's a complete chief, but he's a complete chief. You know what I mean? Like the way he sticks his chest out and you know, is just kind of nasty to the investors.
Yeah, but isn't that just
that he knows all? And he got beat over the head potentially with his hand caught in the cookie jar.
Yeah,
I think that's something that we can't overlook.
I mean, he gets schooled on the show all the time, and I think it's so funny as we have comments just rolling in here. We'll get to them. Don't worry. And I think it's so funny, like you were saying, he does stick his chest out, and I think he's like maybe the third richest person on the panel.
Yeah, Cuban
is by far ahead of everyone, and then it's like the QVC chick. I think
I didn't think she was ahead. I didn't realize that.
I mean, compared to the rest, and then I think it's Mr. Wonderful.
What about Robert Herjavec though? Herjavec Securities,
right? Security. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he was that high up there.
I'm a big Robert guy. He's a chief as well, but he's I think he means well.
Yeah, he's just a nice guy, like dude. He's got those nice blue eyes, a soft face. You know, you really enjoy it.
And good story, a comeback story. You know, he was had some dark times. Yeah. You know, the divorce, all of that.
And I know you get riled for when A-Rod's on the show.
Yeah. No, see, I don't. It's funny. I'm not the typical person that like a big Yankee fan that hates A-Rod. You know, I know he did screw us over. I get it, but I think he's done his penance, honestly, because he was killed for years. He came back. He did lead us to that wild card game in 2015, and obviously he played a big part in 2009. So I can't completely hate him. It just broadcasting. He just makes a fool of himself sometimes. That's all.
I think he's kind of a chief on Shark Tank too, to be honest, dude.
No, because he always just says, "What are your numbers and how much does it cost to make it?" That's all he asks every time.
He doesn't really know what he's doing.
Let's catch up on the fans here.
All right, so we had a lot of comments. Let's see, dude. Michael says, "Ha ha 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 ha." Tony, stop. He's a rat. I'll go through all the Michael stuff.
Wait, Tony and team. Buffer might be looking at a perm ban. Honestly, no acknowledgement of Brian.
Hey, Tony and team.
Yeah.
Like, good morning, Buffer.
How's Correa's leg looking, buddy?
All right, let's take it easy here. Michael says all of them are rats. They
100% lockstep with Michael.
His rat name is Mr. Wonderful. He's a fraud. Stop believing what the New York Times tells you.
Very good.
Wow,
very good.
Dude.
No. One thing too. Okay, because you know how he acts like a big tough guy on the show. Right. I heard he's like Mr. Softy, basically.
Well, yeah, that's what I always kind of assumed it was just a shtick for the show.
But it's not funny though. That's the problem. When people overdo something, it's just not funny. Like just be real. Say what you think. Don't over exaggerate. Why? We've seen you do this for what 10+ years on the show. I mean, come on.
I mean, I think it's kind of funny sometimes.
Oh, it's so funny.
I think.
No, I'm still laughing right now.
No, really.
No, but seriously,
when he like rips up the people, and he's like, "This is just like take the dog out back and shoot it." I think that's kind of funny.
Take the dog, and then what would they say about his investment in FTX?
Well, obviously, is that? Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
You know,
by the way,
I just
Michael,
think it was nice seeing him humanized, though. Honestly, throughout the whole thing, I know that sounds kind of cruel. But it's just, high and mighty, and then completely destroyed. And whether, he's guilty or it's just a straight loss, either one, it really kind of humbles him, you would think. You would think, yeah. But I like what you're saying. Like, that is kind of a shtick for the show. And to see him kind of be like humanized. Yeah, I definitely like that. By the way, Michael, never read the New York Times. Jay Bird, Barber fan. Wow. That actually surprises me. But I mean, Barb is chill. I think, she would be the least probably high maintenance person to work with. I feel like she's kind of just like, give it to me straight. This is it. That's it. Exactly, let's just do this now. Just all for good, not just completely selfish like some of the other people. Yeah, and she's great. She was like a, very prideful Manhattanite too. She still lives in Manhattan. Good story dope, too. Great story. Husband left for the assistant. Yeah. I think she has a new husband now, but obviously became what she is, that New York real estate model. Mogul. Yeah. And then I did stop. Jay Bird also says Shark Tank is goated. It really is, dude. It could be overplayed now, though. That's the thing. I mean, it's been around a while. Might be time for something different. But I mean, I will say, I think they did a good job. I don't know if you've ever seen like season 1 of it. Oh yeah, they're completely different set, completely different people. And then they do bring in other people. They brought in, like the vitamin water guy, the guy who invested in Uber. They brought him in. Yeah. The guy from Virgin Airlines, the kind bar, the guy, who was a big chief, the guy who made The Ring, Jamie Simonoff. Oh, I didn't see him on. I haven't seen him. Oh, big chief. Michael would. Really? Oh, I mean, just the way he acts up there with the leg over, relax. Dude. Stop it. It had some woman on. I think the one who like created Spanx, I think, was on, and she's like, I don't know. I'm not really high and mighty on her. I mean, Spanx, dude. Yeah, I guess that's cool, but do women even use Spanx anymore? Am I kind of out of my realm here? I mean, I obviously I don't use Spanx, but what do we got? Last 2 comments here. Your thoughts on Tua Tagovailoa, 3rd concussion of 2022, and then Michael answers before Tua should never come back this season, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, at this I'm assuming Michael means like medically because of the concussion. No, but I'm saying, or because and he's talking about from like the first or at least the second one. Right. No, but Michael's not saying like Tua shouldn't come back because he's trash. He shouldn't come back because of the concussions. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, he's been banged up. Yeah. It's sad though. He's, he's kind of taken off this year. If you compare it to the previous seasons, obviously more help with Tyreek Hill. Yeah. Oh, definitely. And then Jay Bird says Spanx are goated. Joe Namath, possibly. Spanx commercial could have been. You seen that? Yeah. Good commercial, right? Yeah. Looks good. Come on. I know when they started on his legs and they were going up the legs, you were like, wow. The concussion week 2 where he fell down and they put him in. Yeah, I mean everybody saw that. That was so pretty bad. Yeah. What do you think the deal is? Because I feel like even with this diagnosed head injury here, it was kind of like post game. Like
Obviously, but yeah, it must have occurred during the game. Do you think these doctors are kind of just dropping the ball? You think Miami is just forcing Tua to play? Because it's kind of weird they wouldn't be able to diagnose him with a concussion or head injury during the game, and then all of a sudden after the game, like, oh, it turns out he has a concussion.
Because, Tony, you know as well as I do, as well as Michael knows, even Buffer, whose head's not always on straight, knows this as well. There's stuff that goes on. You know what I mean? And I think it's harder now because it's magnified because of what Tua has gone through this year. But just with concussions, I mean, and you know that's been going on for forever. But just where they know that the person really should be sitting out, but they find ways around it. But maybe too, they really should have someone who's just watching the game feed at all times, because you have certain angles, and it's like, talk about, you know, Mr. Wonderful getting his hand caught in the cookie jar, like with Tua, like going like this and like his eyes all over the place. I mean, it's like, you can't hide from that. You can't run from that, you know?
No, yeah, you can't.
But yeah, interesting stuff for sure.
Yeah, what a nice little comment area.
Yeah,
here
you know, and we've really, if you think about yesterday too, with the geography, Buffalo, population size, I mean, we've really kind of, you know, widened our range over the last couple of days.
I think you're finally kind of coming into your own here, Brian.
Hey, right back at you, buddy. Let's start in the world of Major League Baseball.
Whoa.
2-2, he got him swinging. The back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy-Yo, nada, where did that land?
Stuck to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
Oh, and I was going to mention this before, and then it slipped my mind. And I'm sure you probably saw earlier today in the comment section. But my mom's riled up for the cheesecake, looking for a recipe. I don't know if you saw that. She commented on Facebook.
No kidding.
Yes,
dude.
yes. So I'm sure
did not see
she's
that.
either watching live or watch us later. So I'll let her know you're working on it.
I mean, I can't really divulge the information. I'm
Tony,
sorry.
Tony,
This is part of it, but it's not like.
I mean, you can at least give some rough ideas. Come on, we know you can. Relax. All right, don't be Mr. Wonderful over here.
Oh.
But anyway. So just to kind of catch up with some baseball things, and obviously, you know, the Correa situation is ongoing, and nothing's really changed
annoying.
there. Other than it seems like he is, at least Boris is making it seem this way, that he is talking to other teams. I'm sure you've kind of heard that as well.
Oh yeah.
Who do you think the teams are?
I mean, they
Boston?
say three of the teams, so I would imagine one is Boston.
Giants back or no? It's tight.
Nah, there's no way. There's no way it's the Giants. It wouldn't be, I don't think, maybe the Angels, but I mean,
possibly. I think the Dodgers.
The Dodgers definitely
hates him
not
because of the World Series.
So you could assume, you know, Angels, maybe Red Sox. We were saying, you think Toronto would take a crack at him?
Bichette, and then they have
but Bo Bichette, they weren't really. He had an off year last year.
Not, but I mean, Tony,
dude,
you're telling me you wouldn't rather have him over Correa?
I think he was benched for a while, dude. Would I have Bo Bichette over Correa?
Correa, yeah.
I don't know, dude. I'd have to look at Bo Bichette, I think, a little bit more.
Oh my god,
dude, let's be real here. Come on, Bo Bichette.
No, but also because I'm gonna pull it up. Don't look it up. But I'm just because I have to say this is one that you're actually wrong on. So I just want to hear your guess on what type of season he had, because you're saying it's some dramatic decline. So 2021. Let me finish.
I wasn't gonna say
29, 102, hit 298, and also scored 121 runs, 191 hits. So let's hear the dramatic fall off. Let's first start with games, because you're saying he was benched for some games. Let's start there. What's your number?
Was he not benched for games?
I'm just asking.
Am I wrong?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, you're looking at the stats, aren't you, Brian? Was I wrong? Maybe I'm thinking of Biggio.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Maybe I'm thinking of
Biggio. Thinking of Biggio. But I just want to hear it, because he definitely went through a little something. But overall, I'm just curious what your thoughts are. Like, what do you think? You know, it was 29, 102, 298. So what do you think was last year?
I'm second guessing myself right now because I was thinking of Biggio. So I don't know. What were his stats?
All right. I won't completely embarrass you, bud.
Oh my god.
24, 93, and 290. So
all right.
91 runs scored. So yeah, you were thinking of Biggio. That's okay. Yeah. It's okay. Similar name, but I'm just saying, Bo Bichette, that's a guy that I know is going to be tough to deal with for a long time. He's going to be 25 next season. But yeah, with Correa, just thinking about other teams, I don't think the Yankees are interested. And supposedly, speaking of the Yankees, Brian Cashman said Volpe, full opportunity to win the shortstop job. That would be something. And it's like really to and Michael Kay was saying too, like they're not mutually exclusive. Like you could, you could have Peraza play second, like blah, blah, blah. So this Glaber trade just needs to happen because that'll really get things going. And it's just like, just nothing more exciting than that. And if you think about it too, because just the way that things work, like unless a team, bursts on the scene of surprises that wasn't supposed to be good, almost like the original rendition of the Astros, before all the cheating and stuff, is like very rarely you have two rookies starting up the middle on a team that wins a division, wins 100 games, is a contender for the World Series. And that's what we might see with the Yankees next year.
Yeah, as before, speaking of Yankees, says Carlos Correa is going to make the Yankees a World Series favorite.
No,
I don't know. Is he implying that Correa is going to go to the Yankees, or is he
swear,
just implying that if he's not going to go to the Mets, the Yankees?
I think he's trying to say because he's a little disgruntled about the whole thing that's going on with the Mets. But I don't care. I wouldn't want him for any amount of money.
Oh, he does say right above that. I missed that one. Yankees going to sign Carlos Correa.
I don't want him.
That'd be pretty crazy.
What I mean? He's going to block the young guys. Obviously, there's concerns about pins in his leg, whatever the case may be, Tony. It's just not a risk that I want to take.
What if it's like a 5-year deal?
No.
4 years?
No.
1.
Yeah. Man, no. Actually, no.
That's ridiculous. Mr. Wonderful. Mr. Wonderful. Mr. Wonderful. Mr. Wonderful. Okay.
No, because I know you do believe me, though, that I want those guys to just get an opportunity.
I understand that.
Like,
but you wouldn't take a chance on Correa.
No. If it was somebody like, Bo Bichette, Trey Turner, Rafael Devers, yeah, but not Correa, because he's not. I think he's overrated. I really do. But I think Preferred must be struggling right now because there was a lot of excitement. Correa was kind of like, oh my God, look at Steve Cohen, and you have to admit the offseason is a lot different without Correa. It's not to say that it's a bad offseason, but it's not the, oh my God, we've never seen anything like this before. It's not like that without him.
No, yeah, you're not wrong. But I think this will unravel. He'll be on the Mets anyway, so it's
same terms.
I don't think so, honestly.
Line in the sand, Boris, chest out, Mr. Wonderful. No,
yeah, no. I honestly, dude.
How does Boris back down though? Come on, Boris. You've covered him a while.
Right. But still, I think at this point, I could only imagine that the teams that are contacting Correa, I don't think are going to be anywhere near the contract that the Mets offered him. And is he really going to take like that much of a significant drop anyway to go to a worse team? Probably not.
Yeah.
Right.
No, you're right there. And I think also if they get to a situation, and then this could get even Boris fired. Correa wanted the deal last year, didn't get it. But if he goes line in the sand, no one offers him anything, and then he's like stuck in limbo. He might have to sign like a deal like he did with the Twins, or even go back to the Twins.
Yeah,
that's something we haven't considered as well.
And that's like another waste of a year, basically.
You would think.
I would.
What's something we didn't talk about, Tony? And I guess Lourdes Gurriel, or Lourdes, Gurriel Jr. and Gabriel Moreno, were traded from Toronto to the Diamondbacks for Dalton Varsho, a guy that the Yankees actually were interested in, to fill that left field void. 26 years old, bats left, throws right. Has pop, hit 27 home runs last year. And I guess, the Diamondbacks have a plethora of outfielders. So the Yankees miss out on that one. And, everybody, rightly so, I guess you could say to an extent, but a lot of hype surrounding Toronto. When you think about that, you think about the rest of their team. And obviously, I think, too, it's interesting. A guy hits around 40 home runs. I don't know exactly what it was, but that there would be some type of almost bounce back season just because Vlad Guerrero Jr. 2 years ago definitely had a better year.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's a lot of thought on that rotation. Alex Manoah, I've always been very high on him. You'd expect better years out of Chapman, Teoscar Hernandez. You think about Varsho. Did they sign someone else too? I know they signed, or no, is Stripling still on the team, or that's not updated? He went somewhere else, right?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
So who did they signed a starter though, didn't they?
I don't know.
Oh, and just to give some context, so we'll check into that. It's annoying. ESPN.com. You would think they would update the rosters as guys sign.
They don't care about baseball.
Vlad Guerrero. So he hit 16 less home runs and 14 less RBIs this year, and his batting average dropped 37 points. Still hit 32 and 97.
Oh.
Do you think a big bounce back year, Tony, or no?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's not going to come on. He's not going to.
Do you think he kind of poked the bear though a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, Toronto, the young team, they were facing, almost, a pretty historic run for them.
About that,
Chris Bassett.
Yeah.
I
can't believe we forgot about that.
I know. Well, Bassett's old news now, though.
But also, I mean, that's their big signing, and then Varsho. Yeah. I don't know. Do they deserve that much credit? I mean, aren't they still kind of like a similar team than they were last year?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, how much better is Bassett than Stripling?
Oh, dude, come on.
Bassett, though, come on.
Stripling, Ross,
Bassett, World Series team. What number starter?
I mean, you could argue he drops in the 3 spot.
I think he's on the 3-4 line. Older
3-4 line
around the corner.
Yeah, is it?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong because you did see him implode at times with the Mets.
Yeah,
I'm kind of thinking like an ERA hovering around 5 this year. AL East, different beast. No, didn't even mean to rhyme. Honestly,
I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, AL East. Come on, dude. The NL is harder than the AL East. Come on.
Nonsense.
What do you mean
the
nonsense?
AL East has 4 out of 5 teams that can win the World Series.
What?
Maybe not the Orioles, but
what?
Maybe 3. Whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, you had what in the past 10 years, 3 of the teams out of the NL East went to the World Series.
Went?
Yeah.
Carson Wentz.
One of them won the World Series, dude. When's the last time someone from
2 actually did, sir? The
Braves and the Nationals. That's right. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. So
Mets
4 of them.
4.
4. Wow, dude. So you can stick it, Brian.
No, then we take it back to 03. The Marlins made an appearance.
Oh, there you go. Oh my God, 10 years. That's right, dude.
They won.
They won, dude. Dude, you're making my case. Thank you, Brian.
Oh man. But I'm actually kind of curious. Let's say, they don't make any additions, subtractions rest of the offseason.
Toronto?
No, Yankees.
Oh, Yankees. Oh.
Volpe, Peraza, on the opening day roster starting, or just on the roster, whatever. They work it out with Klaber. Do you feel like they have a better team than the Blue Jays or no? Honestly, I'm not going to get that. I'm just wondering.
I mean, I guess so. Especially
rotation's better.
Rotation's better, right? So yeah, right. Toronto still has like Kikuchi.
Mm-hmm.
They have Kevin Gausman though, right?
Kevin Gausman. Noah, Barrios, but Barrios I think it might be toast.
Yeah, he's kind of Mitchell White.
Mitch White.
But
I don't even think he's like in the bullpen now.
Is he?
Well, yeah, because you got Bassett is 1.
Oh yeah,
you got Manoah's 2. You have Barrios 3. You have Gausman 4, and then Kikuchi 5.
Yeah, he didn't do too well.
Kikuchi?
He did not do anything.
No.
He sucks, dude. So yeah, I mean, on paper, Yankees better team for sure.
And then so there's still like the cream of the crop in the division. I think the Orioles are improving.
Right.
They might contend more. Boston is a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Rays, I mean, they always find a way to compete, but I don't know about for the division.
Yeah, right. Did Glasnow got moved, right? Did
he? I don't think so.
No, he's stuck with Tampa Bay.
Let's see.
I know Kiermaier got moved, right?
You know what it was? You were thinking that they were considering moving him at the deadline. They didn't. Kiermaier is on the Jays, but come on, Kiermaier.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
You know who's better than Kiermaier?
Everybody.
No, who was the guy? Oh, Andy Chavez. I would think
you like Andy Chavez.
Made some good catches. You
made
can
some
argue
phenomenal
that.
Catches, dude.
Yeah. Did they have another guy like that though that couldn't hit but center field? They definitely did. I just don't remember.
Couldn't hit, but a good center fielder.
But like no, not just good, like crazy. You know who used to be crazy? 2 best growing up for me, middle school. 2 best center fielders: Mike Cameron, Torrey Hunter, and Torrey Hunter probably slightly better.
Wow.
I know you remember Hunter, the
Hunter,
All-Star game, Barry Bonds over the shoulder. I know you remember.
It's just funny to reference the All-Star game.
Honestly, did you think Hunter was good? Like, were you a big Torrey Hunter guy or no?
Yeah, why not?
I'm trying to think. Where did he go later in his career? I know Angels, was it?
You know what? I think you may be right. I remember him seeing in red.
So, okay, yep. It was Angels, Detroit. And then last year in Minnesota. 353 home runs, which, I mean, I know it's not 500 home runs, but if you think about the amount of guys, especially these days, that have that many home runs, it's not a ton. Career 277 hitter. Let's see, in terms of Gold Gloves,
9-time Gold Glove, it says. 5-time All-Star.
9-time Gold Glove. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, dude.
And even, I mean, tell me I'm wrong here, Tony, but 2015, age 39, 22 and 81. Wow. That's not bad.
Not bad at all. Should have stick around.
So yeah, he was an exciting player. Cameron was shorter lived, but at certain times was pretty good, with Seattle and the White Sox. Prefer talking bouncy balls in the AL East. Nonsense, Tony. Complete nonsense.
He also says best center fielder growing up, Ken Griffey.
Griffey. Oh my God. I was just using him in the Derby last night.
Really? Oh, you played Derby last night?
No, it didn't get to finish because we plugged in a space heater and we had a short. So
get the fuck out
I swear to God, and then I was kind of tired and just like, whatever.
Dude.
But the swing, do you think anybody will ever have that swing again?
No.
It was so ridiculous.
So smooth, effortless, Brian.
It's a shame with the injuries. Like, if he somehow found a way to better manage him, 800 home runs? I think he hit like 630. Imagine, though, if his career started 10 years later. You think about advances with medicine and stuff. Because, really, I mean, once he hit age 30, didn't have really many good years after that, which is nuts. Started at a young age and then had, several 56 home run seasons.
That's ridiculous.
How many people could say that?
No one. No one.
Just baseball, man. Nothing like baseball, though, right?
Oh, Brian.
Well, how soon do you think we could do divisional previews?
We can start tomorrow, Brian. Okay.
No, but I guess what? Pitchers and catchers report, or maybe a little into spring training just in case some late action.
Yeah, a little into spring training.
But continuing on here, Rangers, Eovaldi, 2 years, $34 million, vesting option. Are you kind of impressed? You think about Heaney, you think about DeGrom. Are you kind of impressed with the Rangers? Now, I know Eovaldi, he's not that good, but as a back-end rotation, he's not bad, right? Or no?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Martin Perez, by the way, too.
Martin Perez, that's cool. But Nathan Eovaldi,
numbers were solid last year.
I suppose
that
so.
Ballpark, though?
But, yeah, I don't know, dude. And even Andrew Heaney, though. I mean, how reliable is that? DeGrom, I feel like health, question mark. Literally, like their year could really go either way.
For you, though, are they public enemy number one this year?
No. I mean, obviously, play Texas, DeGrom's pitching, you definitely want to do well.
So you would rather have the Phillies win 50 games than the Rangers?
No.
What do you mean no?
Wait, you say lose or
like win 50 games? Yes, I'm saying only win 50 games.
I'd rather the Phillies do worse. Yes.
Yeah, because the division.
Yeah, obviously, dude.
But with that team, there's no way.
They're gonna be really nasty.
Them and the Mets 100 wins. But then the Braves. Because the thing is, too, you win 96. It's still a great year. So 100 is tough in a tough division.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be
a dogfight.
Yeah.
You're pumped.
Toughest division in baseball.
You're pumped, though.
Oh yeah.
It's interesting, too. You think any trades on the horizon? I mean, I guess depends what happens with Correa, but especially if that Correa deal goes through the way it is, you would think Eddie Escobar, Kana, even Marte.
On the block?
Yeah, because, I mean, the taxes are insane. I know he doesn't care, but he cares. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And especially, if Correa doesn't go through, right, you're going to be, relying on, Brett and Alvarez to kind of come up and do well. You're gonna rely on Marte having another good year, staying healthy. There's gonna be a lot of ifs if you don't sign Correa.
Out of all those things, which thing would you be most confident about? Beatty, Alvarez, or Marte?
It's tough. Honestly, I think Alvarez probably.
I mean, it's good for you though, Tony.
Yeah.
It is good for you.
He's like the #1 prospect in all baseball.
And I really hope it works out for him because, like I was telling you, it does remind me of Jesus Montero versus the body and stuff. But I think he also, he got involved with A-Rod and his cousin and the steroids and stuff. But if he puts in the work, I mean, imagine just a perennial, like a Mike Piazza like power from the catching position.
Oh.
What are you hearing about his defensive? Can he figure it out defensively?
I mean, it sounds like it. I mean, they're going to bring him up. That he's going to be, getting some experiences behind the plate here. It seems like they have all the confidence in the world in him. So
yeah,
they must know something.
But I know I keep beating a dead horse, Tony. But the thought of prospects thriving, nothing more exciting than baseball. When you're a loyal baseball fan.
Oh yeah, dude.
Nothing better.
Especially someone like him.
I do feel like we need to talk to the Mets scouting department, though. How are there no pitchers? I know the Yankees, but they traded some guys away in that Montas deal. Like, how is there no one?
We traded a few away, but even so, they were like low level, like not really highly touted. Again, the whole Rocker situation, the scouts, like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, you think he's gonna be a star? Do you know what organization he's with?
No idea. Orioles? No.
And I think didn't he go higher in the draft?
I think he did, yeah.
Let's see. So he's 23 years old, and how ridiculous is it, Tony, that he's in the Texas Rangers?
Oh my god, he is, dude.
I'm telling you, man. Within a year, public enemy #1.
Yeah, probably.
I just want to see too. Let's see.
How's he doing?
3rd overall pick, and we'll go to stats here. So they
got Jack Leiter too.
Yeah,
Texas.
He pitched. I guess he didn't. He just pitched in the Arizona Fall League and had a 450. Yeah, Texas, they're coming.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they were teammates. That was the big story.
At Vanderbilt. Yeah.
So that's interesting. And then what were your thoughts too on the Braves 7-year extension for Murphy? A little rich or no? Or 6 years, excuse me, 73 million.
Yeah, I was honestly kind of surprised at that. I mean, I understand, they're moving on from Travis, obviously.
Right. But supposedly he's not going anywhere this year anyway.
Right. Which is interesting. I mean, I guess maybe they're gonna have him behind Sean Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Travis is like 33, I think now.
Yeah.
How old is Sean Murphy?
28.
I mean, I guess that's cool, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like comparing the two, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I feel like Travis's numbers are way better
Offensively.
Yeah. And he's not a bad defensive catcher.
But I guess supposedly like the Braves consider it like Superman ability, Murphy behind the plate. I haven't really paid attention. I know the Yankees play them like 2 series a year, but have you? Like, is he like that crazy, like cat-like reflexes behind the plate?
I'm trying to remember. I remember one game for the A's where Sean Murphy was doing something like behind the plate that was like fucking with the batter, and they got like 2 big outs because of that in like the 9th inning or something, and then he cranked a homer, I think, early in the game. So I mean, the guy has ability for sure. And I guess maybe they're thinking, on a team where he'll be surrounded by, more talent, other guys he could lean on and have support from, that he's going to really elevate his level of play because I don't know. Do you have his numbers in front of you?
Yeah. And they both hit the same amount of home runs last year, by the way.
Really?
And Murphy hit 18 in 537 at bats. Travis d'Arnaud hit 18 in 396 at bats.
Interesting.
d'Arnaud hit 268. Murphy hit 250. I'm telling you,
I don't know, dude.
No way that this ends up being a good deal. Murphy overrated, and I think me and you saw it coming a mile away.
Yeah.
I was kind of interested. My friend Mark, who I think you met one time, and I get it because offensively he did fade a little bit down the stretch. Ready to sell Trevino down the river.
He is, or you are?
He is.
Really?
Yeah. He said, "Oh no, he reminds me of Gardy too much, fading in the second half." And I'm like,
wow,
dude, are you not like think about what we had to deal with Gary Sanchez behind the plate, just defensively.
Night and day.
The fact that, and he had some big hits in the beginning of the year. We can't give him another season and have Wells be the backup. Like, what's wrong with that?
That's ridiculous.
Especially like, I feel like our other positions were covered offensively. So even if, I mean, and I don't think he's going to be hitting 160 either. I think, next year he could hit 240 with 12 to 15 home runs.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
I mean, I know you like Trevino, right?
Yeah, dude.
And especially #1 in framing, and he's complaining. I mean, isn't that insane?
But first says Mark is my new best friend.
Oh my god! I see that's a comment too that just doesn't make any sense.
Hill says Mets' public enemy is not the Yankees. They can't spend like us.
And hearing stuff like that is just ridiculous because I know, everybody knows that it's like, yeah, it plays to your advantage that you can open up the wallet whenever you want. But at the same time, it's more than that.
Right. No, of course. Do you think the Yankees are going to end up moving on from Trevino?
No, not this year.
Go to the Mets?
Like, well, actually, it could be midseason. Like if he hits like 100, maybe.
McCann?
No, McCann is on the Orioles.
Yeah, he's on the Orioles.
But yeah, it's just, baseball ops is so much more important. Give me the best player development baseball operation any day over a high payroll. Give me $100 million less. But if I know guys are grinding in there, as Doggy would say, the Starbucks, the laptops, the flip flops. You remember he would always say that. Yeah. Man, if you could have any position from coaching, front office, like specific role in an organization, what would it be?
Ooh, me personally?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Scout. Scout would be fun.
Scout would be a lot of fun going.
I feel like it's a good job for a single guy. Like you're just like, you know what I'm saying though? Like you're just traveling all year. But I feel like they're all alcoholics though.
Yeah, probably. Constantly dipping.
The trips to Florida in the winter.
Right? Oh my god, dude. I mean, that does sound fun, but I don't know. I feel like I think I would want to be like a GM, dude.
GM, yeah,
that'd be sick.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, just because I know they're two different things, but not really. Like doing the franchise mode has always been fun. So just imagine doing that real life and making those decisions, but being the day-to-day guy. Because I feel like sometimes there's some GMs that have everyone do their dirty work, but the guy that's actually grinding and really honing in on stuff, And
I feel like, I would just relish that opportunity. I would love to be in the thick of it, dude,
The one thing I would ask you though, because I do acknowledge there's probably something that we missed, but if you had to give your best guess at it, what is it that we miss? Like, how we feel like if we were the GMs of our teams,
you know what I mean?
Right. Like, what are we missing? Is it just like the practice, the behind the scenes, the clubhouse? Is that the stuff that we miss?
I think out of all of it, the biggest thing has got to be the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
The politics of it all, like dealing with ownership, like those types of things, I think is really what we miss, because we're not obviously in the thick of things. We're on the outside looking in, Brian.
I think one other thing too that is complete BS, and this is plays a role in really any sport, but is draft position. Guys in the minors, great season weren't drafted high, didn't get that big signing bonus. We're really gonna push this other guy to see if he can succeed, even though he's not doing as well.
Right.
And I hate that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's just so tough. I feel like the whole drafting and prospect process is so tough for baseball specifically.
So many players, so many minor league teams,
so many years have to be spent in the minors, dude. There's such a big jump from minors to professional. It's kind of outrageous, really.
Is there a solution? Less minor league teams, they already cut back a lot. Jobs, people are tight. Cities, revenue.
I know, dude, and it sucks because they get paid like dog shit, and it's just almost not even worth it, to spend 5 years. I mean, I don't know. It's really tough, I think. Jay Bird says steroids is the solution. When you think about it, obviously there's a reason for it. Especially in baseball, it takes so long for someone to come up to the majors and to get a good look at them. You can't take them from 2 games. You can't even take them from 5 games to see how they are. It's going to take 15 to 20 games to really see what they could do consistently through a season. So, it's not even you can be just cycle through, just cycle minor league players more often. But it's like the second, like it's not like the second someone makes second Alvarez makes a mistake, you can't send him down. You got to see how he reacts. You got to see how he can kind of deal with that. I don't know.
No,
I guess I really don't have a solution.
And I said it before the show. Patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing to point at, look at the first time Aaron Judge and Mike Trout were called up. Both had terrible numbers. Next year, amazing.
Yeah.
So patience is everything. How patient do you think the Pittsburgh Pirates will be with 42-year-old Rich Hill, who will turn 43 in March, 1 year, $8 million, 4.27 ERA through 124 in the third innings with Boston last year. Oldest player in the majors.
Good for him. I mean, I again, I mean, talk about patience. I mean, are the Pirates really? I mean, what else do they have?
O'Neal Cruz
To pitch?
He honestly probably could. He's got an arm. Let me tell you.
Did he throw like 100 on the gun?
Yeah.
But I mean, realistically, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna put him on the mound. I mean, Rich Hill. I mean, they're gonna be with him the whole season. I mean, it can't be any trade. Come on, dude.
If he pitches well, I could see the Mets. Couple injuries. It worked well when he was there.
No.
How tight would you be?
I know you like to say, "Oh, the Mets get up there in age, the average age of the team, whatever, dude." They're not gonna pick up Rich Hill. That's ridiculous.
3 starters on the IL.
Why are 3 stars on the IL?
Have we not seen it before? Didn't that happen last year? Bassett was on the IL. DeGrom was on the IL. Scherzer was on the IL.
At the same time.
Close enough.
No.
But yeah, you would think this is his last go around.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, I guess it kind of depends. I mean, honestly, 4.27 isn't horrible
at that
for him,
age.
dude.
At that age is actually impressive.
Yeah,
Tony.
dude.
But boy, I mean, what good baseball talk, Tony?
I know, I really enjoy that.
It's a nice because it was very positive,
good
feels, and then we have to switch gears and go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Patrick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot.
Big hit on the far side by McCarr! He flattens Jordan Stahl! Oh my goodness!
Gets the top right back. Terrified and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliance from Igor Shesterkin.
It's a breakaway to win it in overtime! McDavid scores! The winner in overtime!
Oh, one thing we missed here too, former Orioles pitcher Jordan Lyles, 2 years, $17 million with Kansas City, 4.42 ERA last year in 179 innings. At time has strikeout stuff, but very, very inconsistent.
Yeah.
And I could see though, going to Kansas City, eyeballs, weaker division. I could see it having a decent year.
Yeah, I suppose so. But I mean, I think that's like
Royals,
I can't see him
the
having
Pirates.
a good year there and then going somewhere else where it's more competitive and then being successful.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be successful for Kansas City only.
I think he's just one of those guys, weak opponents, thrives, and then other than that, disaster. Former Yankee Austin Romine, too, minor league deal with Cincinnati. I did always like him back in the day, obviously.
Really?
He would get hot from time to time. Stay in the organization a while, kind of was Kyle Higashioka before Kyle Higashioka.
Well, that's nice.
Didn't work out in Detroit, though. They gave him the chance to earn the job. Anyway, Tony, let's be real. Flat on their face last night at the Garden. What the hell happened?
So obviously Rangers, Brian said it, flat on their face, lost 4-0 here, getting shut out at home. When you look at just like the stat line, it looks like the Rangers were able to keep up with the Capitals. And honestly, I mean, first period, it wasn't crazy, right? But the Rangers were making super mistakes. I think they had a 5-on-3. They gave Washington a 5-on-3 opportunity early on. And honestly, from there, it was just like the quick 5-on-3 goal from Johansson on Washington to get them up 1-0. They scored early. I think this was like maybe 2 minutes into the game. It was super quick, maybe even earlier than that. From the Rangers perspective, you don't want to give up a 5-on-3 opportunity and you don't want to get scored on, but you're thinking you know what? It's one goal. Rangers come back before 5-on-3 opportunity, whatever, dude. They just never really came back from that, unfortunately. And then on top of that, I mean, I guess Darcy did pretty well. I think he had like a 32 save night. Washington's defense did pretty well. It's such a tough loss, honestly. But hey, you know, Washington's been pretty hot. I think they won 11 out of their last 12 games or 10 out of their last 11 games. They're 13-3 in the past, like, few weeks here. And, you know, for the Rangers to come out here, I don't know, like we were saying earlier, if it was just because of the winter break or whatever, but we're just incredibly flat, didn't have that energy, looked nothing like the team before Christmas, honestly. And yeah, like I was saying, you look at the stat line, and it looks like they kept up with them. You know, they had 32 shots on goal, actually outshot Washington, who only had 30 shots. Hits were pretty even. Face-offs were close to even. Washington were 1 for 3 in the power play. Rangers were 0 for 5. And that is something that I was kind of talking about a little bit before the break, before the holiday, was that the Rangers power play just was not, they just don't have it. And again, you have to tip your hat to Darcy. Did well with kind of fending off shots, but I mean, you have to find a way to score. I mean, we've seen Darcy struggle in the past. We've seen Washington's defense struggle in the past. Giving you 5 power play opportunities, you don't score on one of them. And again, they're getting shots off. And it's pretty interesting because, you know, I feel like earlier in the season we're complaining that they're not getting enough shots off, that they're waiting too much for the perfect shot. They're passing too much. They're not taking any shots from the blue line. And they kind of realized they could start doing that. They could have this, offense where they have a good mix of puck control at the blue line, shooting it down low, having a body there. Also, making that extra pass at some points, deking, finding, a hole in some defense. And now they're just almost relying entirely on that kind of perimeter offense, and not really having too many looks down low. I know obviously power play bread and butter is to set up Panarin kind of in the slot just to get that one timer, or Zibanejad in the slot to get that one timer. And they set up a few times, but it's just not working. Like, that was your bread and butter. Obviously they know that. You have to make some sort of adjustment on the power play, find someone else who's open, make another pass after that. They just weren't really making smart plays. And again, no goals in the power play is like just stupid, dude. It was like a real horrible game for the Rangers to come back from.
Any rhyme or reason, like, other than obviously not executing, but I'm saying why they weren't sharp, why they weren't executing? I mean, do you think it's the layoff?
I think it must. The only thing I can think of is it's the layoff. Because the Rangers, we saw how hot they were going into it. I understand, they had the tough loss against Pittsburgh, but they quick bounce back. They looked like a team who really had their heads on straight. I don't know if they just thought, they just didn't have their heads in the game. Of course, being a home game as well. I think they maybe didn't have that time to be like on an airplane, to be thinking about, all right, like, we're going to like, we're going to go do some work right now. Like, we got to focus up, key it in here. And I think maybe that would fall on like a leadership of the team, which, obviously would be like a Jacob Trouba, the veteran guys. You have to get your guys' minds right. Again, looking at the box score here, Philip Hedl, 5 shots on goal here. Kreider had 3. Panarin had 4 shots on goal. Zibanejad had 5 shots on goal. Again, I was telling you, like, they're setting these guys up for the power play, but they're just not scoring. I mean, obviously, no one scored for the Rangers, so they all were in minus, on the ice. Same thing with Adam Fox too. I guess maybe, one thing they could have done, I know I said that they relied on a lot, but you look at your defensemen. Adam Fox had no shots on goal last night. Like, come on. Like, he's your leading offensive defenseman. He's got how many goals? 7 goals, 28 assists. you got to get him into the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about, even attempting to have some offense from your blue line, from that side of the offensive zone. You have to get him into the game. Like, why is he not shooting pucks on net? I understand that, maybe the Rangers got a little nervous because, again, first period was pretty light. It was only, they're down 1-0 after the first period. Second period, they give up 2 more goals. All of a sudden, they're down 3-0, excuse me. I mean, you just got to kind of, I guess, maybe just relax a little bit too. They seemed a little bit, like I was saying, last week, like a little too nervous out on the ice when they're down. I understand you have to score, but there's no reason to kind of act like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like play the game as if it's still nothing. Obviously with some haste, but I mean, you can't let a deficit get to you like that.
Oh man, it's just like, I don't know. It's hard not to be slightly discouraged by that. And I mean, obviously, you go out there, next game, in Tampa and make a statement. You forget about it, Tony. But it's just, even if you're gonna lose, though, this is the thing that bothers me. Even if you're gonna lose, you don't need to lose like that. And I think that's the concerning part. Everybody's gonna lose. We get it.
I mean, I guess you got to tip your hat, I suppose, to the Capitals here. I mean, the Rangers, if they did one thing well, it was keeping Ovechkin at bay.
Mm-hmm.
You saw a lot of players make some good defensive plays against him. K'Andre Miller had one where, it looked like a surefire classic Ovechkin goal. But, K'Andre Miller got the little poke check in there. I guess you really don't expect, big games from Marcus Johansson. I mean, scoring his 9th goal of the season. He's solid, but Lars Eller, Gustafsson.
Yeah, these are all guys that you're not.
You're
focusing on.
Typically focusing on, I suppose, but to get shut out is really what is so demoralizing. I think to the team, but like you said, first came back from break. Washington has been hot. Obviously Darcy, still a couple winning goalie here for a reason. For them to have their great game against the Rangers is unfortunate, but like you said, move on. Your next game is against Tampa. That's going to be no walk in the park. So,
and I think too, not to say that he's out of this world, top 3 goalie or anything, but I think we did kind of underestimate Darcy. Like he's pretty good. Like I think we thought he was like cooked in the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he really wasn't playing well in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And of course, we all thought, from games in the postseason last year, he would be nothing behind a great offense. Obviously you're against a team, who has, scoring 4 goals. That's great. But, he gets a second shutout last night, 920 save percentage, 2.4 goals against here. He's in certainly the upper echelon of goaltenders, top 10 goaltenders in the league right now. So, I mean, that's got to say something,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And what's interesting too? It just feels like it was longer ago than it was, but this game against Tampa on Thursday, that's our first game against them since opening night.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, definitely 2 different looking teams here at this point.
But I think, it's I feel better about our chances against them than I would in other years, even though 20-11, good record. But I don't know. I just have a thing where I just feel like they're just not as good as they were the last couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really tough to say. I mean, like you said, the 2011, we're right there with them at 19-12 now. But Kucherov has been just absolutely going off. I think he's top 5 right now, point leaders in the league.
Yeah. I just feel like Vasilevsky isn't as good. Not to say that he's terrible, but he's
right. I mean, he definitely isn't, I guess, as good as previous seasons. But I mean, he's still doing pretty well. I mean, you look at his stats here this season, 917 save percentage, right? 253 goals against. You look at what, he was putting up last year for the whole season, 249, save percentage of 916. So he's hovering around what he did last season, I suppose. It really was, the season before that, where it was, 221, 925 save percentage. So I don't know. I mean, a little bit of dip last season. It seems like he's sticking around those numbers this season. Of course, there is time to pick it up. He's like I said, the whole team, Tampa Bay, looks like a totally different team than what they were opening day. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be a tough, interesting dogfight here for the Rangers on, I guess that would be tomorrow on Thursday. So,
and listen, so yeah, we'll see what happens Thursday. We'll give them, the benefit of the doubt, but time to step up. I mean, you can't get shut out again. Team to watch out for, and I know this seems a little ridiculous, but the Coyotes 6-3 over the Avalanche last night at home. We know the intimate arena over there in Tempe, Tony, and the fact that they beat the Avalanche, not only just beating them in general, but the fact that they beat them with Connor Ingram in net. First win of the year. I think I know you're going to poo-poo it, but the fact is they've played 8 more, actually even more than that, 22 and 11 more road games than home games. They're 6-3-2 at home. Watch out for them to maybe sneak into that last wild card spot. I just feel like they're a different team at home.
Yeah, I think honestly, and I was saying a little bit about this, I don't know when, but I think there's something to be said here for teams coming into ASU.
Yeah.
And
it's an environment they're not used to.
They're not used to it. It probably reminds them of their travel team in elementary school.
Yeah.
So I think it definitely fucks with the other teams. I mean, we've seen the photos of what their facilities look like, what the away locker room is. It's a quasi, put together like in the middle of a room, locker room, with like black curtains up. Dude, literally, I think they have better facilities for away teams at Sacred Heart. So it's pretty outrageous, honestly. And I think it really does affect teams' play, affects their kind of attitude, because you're not as coddled. You're probably not warming up right. You probably can't do your pregame routine, like you could in some facilities. So, of course, we've seen Colorado, I think slip a little bit here. We know McKinnon's still out for them, but I mean, to give up 6 goals, I think, against Arizona
and lose to Ingram, that's just
to lose to Ingram only
awful.
I mean, this
Worse
game,
than Elliott.
Beginning of the third period, it was 5-2 in favor of Coyotes.
Yeah.
So it's damn, you're down 3 goals in the third period. That's pretty crazy. So, but we'll see where Arizona ends up.
Especially little acquisition.
Yeah,
I mean, just get Kane in there or something. I don't know. Crazy things have happened.
Crazy things have happened, dude.
So you gave me a gift, by the way. It's Wonderland of Ice. Very good analogy, Jay. An 0-4 spot for you, Tony, last night.
So crazy.
I went 3-1.
Right.
So now I'm only 3 points behind. Only a couple days left here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try our best tonight. Shorter slate, but we do have room for 2 in a common. Lead off in highlighting tonight's slate. Bruins at Devils, 7:30 TNT. Have a feeling you're thinking about that one, but we'll let you make the final call here.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, another game that I'm interested in is the Knights game again. I understand Knights back to back. They lost last night. I kind of always forget who they were playing. The Kings. That's right. They lost to the Kings.
Yeah, we were talking
West
about the
Coast road trip.
The spread.
The
why
spread.
Why the Kings?
The spread here in Anaheim, Vegas -190.
Sketchy.
So sketchy.
Should be 350
easily. I mean, the Ducks are 9-22. The Knights are 24-12. So I mean, I don't know. That's so scary to me. I understand the Knights are back to back again. Like, you look at the injury report. Oh, Jonathan Marchessault, day to day. I don't know if he played last night, honestly.
That could have been what.
But even so, dude. I mean, against the Ducks, I understand. Tyler Seagrass, pretty solid, but it's just like, why, dude? And obviously, he was out last night against LA. I mean, I obviously, like, I'm hesitating a little bit here to take the Knights, but how do you not take the Knights? Give me the Knights again. They're not going to lose 2 games in a row, especially to the Ducks here. I just think there's really no reason, even with Jonathan out. I mean, it's the Ducks. So give me the Knights. Let's say 5-1.
There you go.
Come on.
There
dude.
you go, Tony.
Let's take care of business.
There you go.
Honestly,
Um,
tired of this
I'm
shit, Brian.
conflicted, so I'm gonna hold off. I was considering that Bruins
Lightning?
game,
Oh,
but I'm gonna just hold off. Maybe that'll be the comment unless you snatch it next pick. So looking at this, so tough, Tony, so tough.
I know, dude.
Yeah,
take Pittsburgh. Take Pittsburgh. Do it.
We did the Lightning play last night.
No,
Lightning done.
Lightning done.
If it was a back-to-back and Elliott was starting, I would. They might go Elliott though. That's the thing.
Rangers on
yeah,
Thursday. We face
but
off.
Yeah, I'm nervous because I just feel like they want the Vasilevsky.
Likely Vasilevsky. So that means Elliott against the Rangers, though.
Oh, that's a great spot for us.
Love that.
Well, also
dude.
they could go Vasilevsky back to back because I forgot who they did that with this year.
Yeah.
Team. It happens from time to time.
Yeah.
Watch out for it. Casey Smith, sorry for Pittsburgh. That's interesting.
Mm.
But yeah, give me Tampa here. Kucherov, Braden Point with a point as well. Give me Lightning here 4-1. Vasilevsky, great game.
Love it. My next game, I've taken them a couple times this season and done well for me. Give me Seattle at home against Calgary. Burakovsky, 28 points in the season here, 10 goals, 18 assists. We know Calgary is nothing from what they looked like last season. I understand they've had some solid games where they look like a good team. But I just think Daniel Vladar, their backup in between the pipes here for them. Obviously, Martin Jones, in there for Seattle. A couple of tough overtime losses, I think, for him this season. But I think Seattle in regulation, maybe like 3-1.
All right. I'm actually going to take the Smith almost more so because I like the Bruins Devils as our common, Tony.
Okay.
But also I think they got waxed by the Islanders last night on the road. So I think coming back home, they don't want to get embarrassed. And to Smith, very capable backup tender. That would be a guy I would love the Rangers to have as their backup. Solid. Yeah. You could win with him. So I just think Crosby, he's having a nice year. Why not keep it going? So Detroit, 3-1. Crosby, goal and an assist. Smith, 35 saves.
Yeah.
So common game.
Oh, I didn't even realize Knights have their backup tender in.
Ooh, sketchy spot.
Yeah, but so the Ducks, that is kind of sketchy, dude. You never know.
Those uniforms, though, that's an auto loss. Yeah, those are like Ducks, the Tampa Bay Bucks back from like the 80s.
So bad.
So you could decide who you want. I'll leave it up to you. Make you sweat it out for this comment. I'll take the opposite side. So what do you want? Bruins, Devils, TNT from the Prudential.
From the Prudential Center too in Jersey, the Dirty Jers.
I don't think the Bruins have lost back-to-back games this year.
There's no way they did, dude. Only 4 losses in the season. So, okay. No, I thought it looked like I was a little out of focus here. Last time these teams played, only one other time this season, Bruins won 4-3, tight game. Bruins just lost to Ottawa last night. They're on the back-to-back, dude.
On the bender.
Actually, the last game the Devils had was against the Bruins, where it was the loss. Devils losing 4 of the last 5 games. Wow, Bruins on the back-to-back too is tough. Young legs of Jersey. Wow, this is a tough pick here, Brian. You really put me on the spot, dude.
You know you want to do it.
I kind of want to take the Bruins. I'm just looking at their last game here. You had the Bruins score 4 goals in the second period, 2 of which were by Pastrnak, 1 by Patrice Bergeron, and another by DeBrusque. I don't know. I just think on the back-to-back, though, the Bruins losing 2 in a row. This is crazy, dude. Home in Jersey here. I'll do it. I mean, I guess. Well, actually, you and Mike are always on the same team. They always, I'll just give me the Bruins, dude.
All right.
You and Mike can cry about it.
I just have a feeling, Bruins maybe coming down to earth a little bit. Olmark, he's not Patrick Waugh, Tony. So I think it'll be close, be tight. So definitely want to tune into that one later on. But smaller slate, but some good games nevertheless.
Great games.
And time to kick it into high gear in terms of the Rangers. Make that be a one-off. Make a statement tomorrow.
Yeah, dude.
Elliott or no Elliott. You just got to win. But what's your guess? If Vasilevsky, I mean, would you say it's 90% Elliott if Vasilevsky draws the start tonight?
I think they could go back to back, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why they would. I mean, I understand, like, it's not that these games necessarily matter right now, but I mean, this could be a team in the eyes of Tampa Bay. This could be a team, the Rangers, you see in the postseason. Why not kind of put your best foot forward now? Especially after losing opening day to them. I mean, why wouldn't you just put Vasilevsky back to back, test him? Why not?
And I know with points, there's usually not a tiebreaker, but what if there is a tiebreaker? What is it? Is it total wins or is it head-to-head wins for playoff position?
Total wins.
Total wins.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So either way, you want to win as many as you can. So
yeah.
Interesting stuff, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, just kind of a couple mixed list of items here on the way out. The first being they did make it official this morning. Carson Wentz starting for Washington this week, and they're looking to secure a playoff spot. Came in relief of Heineke in their loss to the Niners last week. Do you feel like, obviously we know Wentz probably has more talent, but Heineke seems like a better fit. Do you think this is a mistake on their end?
Yeah, dude. I mean, Heineke, again, I mean, I understand. First of all, Carson Wentz having more talent, I suppose, is kind of arguable.
Yeah.
And then even so, I mean, Heineke was, it wasn't just about his level of play, but his just command on the field, his kind of attitude, his tenacity, if you will. And Carson Wentz, I feel like, is just kind of like a wet noodle over there. Right.
Well, and the thing is, so, you have Green Bay, Detroit, Seattle. One of those teams wins, Washington lose to the Browns, they're out of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They could still make their way back in week 18.
Right. So what the hell?
And then you think about the pass rush, Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney off the edge for Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a bad matchup. We saw Wentz get toasted earlier in the year in terms of sacks.
Toasted.
So I don't know. I think it's a tough spot, but it is a home game. The last two games at home here. But so you're calling the Browns win right now, or Watson's looked awful?
I know, dude. What are the chances they put in Brissett?
I mean, I think you would have to have 3 picks in the first half.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I mean, I guess Wentz. I guess
you go with Wentz.
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably.
Interesting.
Who would you go with, Brian?
I would go with Heineke. I know that it hasn't looked great the last couple of games, but he's a leader. I don't know if Wentz is a leader.
Wentz doesn't seem like much of a leader, I guess.
Speaking of leaders, J.J. Watt announces that this will be his final NFL season. A little resurgent,
Get the fuck
after
out of here, dude.
3 out of the previous 4 years, wasn't healthy, only played a handful of games. 9.5 sacks this year for the 33-year-old. But he did mention something about a fib situation with the heart. So I would imagine that that's why he's retiring.
Yeah.
33 years old. You would have thought.
Didn't he went to the hospital this season?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
After a game? Yeah.
After the
so,
game.
I mean, you're 33 years old. Just hang it up. Why not?
Yeah, he
dude?
had a great season. First ballot Hall of Famer. Great
Like,
guy.
had a great career, dude.
Did a lot of work in the community of Houston.
Yeah.
Majority of his career there. Last 2 with Arizona. Unfortunately, they scuffled while he was there. And I guess really, and then former Raven Ed Reed taking the
Coaching.
helm at Bethune-Cookman. Always was a huge Ed Reed guy.
Love
Let me
Ed
tell you,
Reed.
I don't know what the wins and losses are going to look like. They're going to have the best defense in their conference. I'll tell you that right now. He was unbelievable. Tony.
He really
unbelievable. I mean, just every time you look up, he's got a pick.
Mm-hmm.
He's running it back too. It's not like
Yeah.
he's just falling to the ground. He's taking it 80 yards out. That was an unreal Ravens defense.
Ravens won football.
Yeah. The shame part, though, he won it when he was kind of cooked. I think he played one more year afterwards, but he didn't win it in his prime. He came in right after that 2000 win over the Giants.
He still got one, so
yeah.
he deserved it.
And I know, we haven't really talked much NBA. As I'm sure as we get down the stretch, there'll be some more conversation here. But had to mention, I know Michael's been waiting all show for this. Luka, 60, 21, and 10 last night in the Mavericks overtime win comeback versus the New York Knicks. I mean, what can we say? I mean, how much more impressed can we be? Luka can accomplish anything on the basketball.
Excuse me. Sorry, NBA.
Down 10 in the fourth.
They're down 10 in the fourth. I mean, Luka had a really nice, phenomenal play. He got fouled late when they were down by 3. Did the old, make the first bucket. The old miss on purpose on the second one. Got the rebound, tossed it up, tied the game up for them, forced it to overtime. And then to have a stat line that, from what I've been told, has never been done in the NBA before, or a 60.20 rebound triple-double, I think. So, I mean, hey, man, that's pretty impressive.
Over under 2 years before he wins a championship. 23 years old, by the way, which is crazy. Is that crazy? 23? He's been in the league for 5 years.
Kind of ridiculous, honestly. I would say over 2 years.
33.6, 8.7, 8.8 assists, 50% from the floor, Tony.
Absolutely ridiculous.
35% from 3, and 74% of the line, which is solid. Also has 1.7 steals, and this is his 5th year in the NBA. So came in at a young age. He might play 25 years.
Unbelievable.
So who knows regarding that, but you have to give your hat off to him. And a guy Michael likes, Quentin Grimes, 33 points for the Knicks. So obviously it's disappointing. It's the collapse. It's all of that. But hey, it's the NBA. Anything, Tony, anything can happen.
Okay.
You seem like you're excited about that one.
No.
But yeah, other than that, anything on the way out?
Nothing on the way out.
All right.
Nothing on the way out, dude. Enjoy your day. Nice cold. You know what, dude? Go outside. Nice walk around the block, just
shirt off.
Fresh air.
Really.
If you want to take your shirt off, too, I bet it would feel awesome because the sun is out. You'll be cold but feeling heat. I'm sure it's great. I may do that.
But once again, really like to thank everybody for tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. What a show. What a life. Checking out the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee in costume, the merch, downtimetv.com. Everybody enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you. Mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.